back. I'm excited to cook some stuffs. How is everyone doing? Seems like we are all up and at 'em this morning. It's good to see, guys. Mish was first today. I'm impressed, Mishi. And hi, Bonk. I hope you're doing good. Hi, Pell. Welcome in early. Pell is up. Michael, good to see you too. Who else we got? Knife Clan says still good morning in Mountain Time Zone. Yeah, it is. Except what? We just crossed over. Bonk's still in morning time though. Pell is still up. What happened? What happened to sleep? Where did it go? It left you? It left your life? Okay, guys, what do I have for report today? Nothing too much. Just dropped off Julia yesterday after the stream. Definitely did not drink enough water yesterday during the stream. I can't believe like how fast 5 hours goes by. So I had a little bit of a headache, but it was gone once I ate something and had more water. We were all good. Had a good sleep. I think that's pretty much it. Finally had like a nice kind of just slow morning. All the other mornings so far I've been like out of the house by 8. Sleep is for the sheep. Oh my gosh, I would die. Up until 4 in the morning? How? Love it. Thanks, dude. Can't start a stream right without a dab and a sub anniversary. Thank you so much, Michael, for being here for 7 months in a row now, dude. The time is just flying by, hey? Pal, I do it stoned too. Of course you do. Of course you do. I think that's my only report, guys. Other than that, I mean, our next stream next week, we'll be having Samo back with us. We'll do a quick stream on the Friday, kind of get packed up and ready to go, get set up, and then Saturday we'll be on the road with you guys. I think that the stream is going to go really good for our road trip going the other way because we don't have to go through any mountain ranges. So I'm excited to see how it goes. That's about it. You had more than enough sleep Friday, Saturday. That's crazy, guys. Sometimes your body does that though when you're overtired too, right? Although I do know that not all of us need as much sleep as others. Okay, menu for the day and our 2 easy recipes. We are making some Cowboy chili today. So that's more like a chunky style chili, not like just full ground meat in it, because I know you can do like beef chili. I've seen healthier versions of turkey chili. Maybe even some people will sneak a little ground pork in there. I'm not too sure. But yeah, we are gonna do 2 different meats in our chili today, thanks to Cowboy Kent Rollins. If you don't know who he is, definitely check him out online. Give him a follow on Instagram. Oh man, he's so young too in this recipe that I linked. Looks like a baby there. He's a character, hey Bonk? I just love it. He's just so himself and just like inspiring. He'll teach you a little bit of stuff. So click on that and check it out. So we'll be using some smoked tri-tip, which, did we do that on a stream? I can't remember if we did that on the stream before Sam left or if he just did it on the side. But we'll chunk that up and then we'll use some ground brisket in the chili too. I think it's gonna be really good with those 2 meats. And then just on this side, because we're kind of clearing out the fridge this week before we go, I had some potatoes from the farmer's market that I haven't even touched since last week. So we'll just roast those up on the side. I thought that would be yummy to eat with the chili. You could also do cornbread. Like I've made cornbread a lot and I just wasn't feeling like making cornbread, but that is usually what I would serve with chili. And if you need a good recipe, there is an amazing jalapeno cheddar cornbread recipe in Discord. You haven't left your bed? That's impressive. Sometimes we need to bed rot. Right? I think so, Bonk. Yeah, I don't know if we did it on stream or off, but either way, it's smoked, so that will add some nice smoky flavor to the chili. And then what do I have back here? Our kidney beans. I soaked in water yesterday night around like 7 p.m. Just some cool water and then pop the lid on them and let them sit out. And I did buy these from the bulk section this time instead of like buying it in a packaged item, Just organic dried kidney beans. Easy peasy. So I think those will be delicious. And just from my knowledge and preference, when you pressure cook your own beans, there's just something that turns out a lot nicer, like texture and flavor wise, compared to canned beans. I know it's really easy to buy canned beans, but it is much, much less expensive if you can just take the extra 30 minutes, maybe 40 with like bringing it up to pressure and then releasing the pressure. But still, we should be able to have 40 minutes of time, because once you have it on, you could go do other stuff for the 30 minutes. And then you have your beans ready to go, and you're probably saving about a third of the cost, maybe even more, doing that. Tri-tip is excellent in stews and chilies. I'm excited. I don't know if I've ever used tri-tip up like this before. We have a lot of it, so I don't think I'm gonna cut all of it up and put it in the chili. I'll use it up this week for myself for some meals. But yeah, I thought that would be a good one. If it's already cooked, pop it in a chili, right? So what are our directions here? And what does Kent say? This is what he starts with. So there's a great debate out on chili, beans or no beans. And I would say it totally depends on who makes it, where you are in the world, and maybe just the recipe that you kind of grew up with that was made in your family. But that is always the debate, beans or no beans. Here in Canada, like, I was always raised with beans in the chili. And I would probably feel like there's something missing in my chili if there wasn't beans. Like, I've always thought, okay, beans and chili if you're gonna eat it as a meal, yeah. But if you're gonna like use the chili for a chili dog or something like that, I probably wouldn't put beans in. Probably better, like, texture-wise, to go with the hot dog or whatever you're putting it on, to not have the beans. Hi, little mama, how are you doing? You went to the link I shared and it says not found? How come it works on my side then? Can somebody else click on it just real quick to let me know? Because I just clicked on what I had in Discord and it opened up no problem. So sometimes browser pages will like block certain things. I don't know why. You're doing good, little mama? You're having a nice relaxing weekend? Okay, so this is what Cowboy Kent says. I say you go ahead and throw in whatever you like. I like that answer. He says, for me, I'm sure gonna put beans in because I grew up on them and they give chili a good heartiness. I think that's so true. That's true. It just helps you stay more full, right? A little bit more fiber in there, some carbs. The link I put in worked. Okay, thank you, Bonk, for checking. He says, I'd usually make this dish on a cool day, and it is starting to cool off here. We're supposed to get rain the next couple days, so it is nowhere near as hot today as yesterday, so that is perfect. He says, make it on a cool day, serve it up at noontime to warm those cowboys up after a chilly morning gathering cows. Okay, who was out this morning gathering their cows? Because you should be coming over for chili. Hello, Rockout guy. Welcome in. How are you doing? Well, Mama, you went to the gym to help out with a protein shake bar. Cool. The owner sees your walking boot, goes, you know what I'm going to start calling you? The tribal chief? What? Because as long as I've known you, nothing has yet to keep you down, at least not for long. Yeah, nothing can keep you down, hey? You are strong. And that's always inspiring for people. Okay, so like I was saying earlier, Cowboy Kent says serve it up with some cornbread and you've got a full meal that will stick to your ribs. I'm doing potatoes today because I thought that would still go good with everything. And then we will garnish our chili, little sour cream, cheese, green onion, whatever else you want to. Up to you guys. Okay, so I got a big old pot on the stove because my other pots are at my client still. So we're gonna use this pot that was handed down to me from my mom's mom. And she is well loved. Like if we look at the lid, yeah, there's a chip in there. If I open it up, you'll see she's got some fond built up on there over the years. I'm not sure how old this pot actually is. but obviously older than me. So older than 33 years old. So that's not bad. That's not bad for that pot being used as much as it was. So to make our chili, we are going to first start by getting our beans on to the pressure cooker and letting those go. And I believe it's a 20-minute cook on kidney beans. I have to like make a little guide for myself for the pressure cooker because I always just Google it. You love you some Cowboy Kent Rollins. He's just such like good vibes. I don't know. I'd love to hang out with him one day. Instant Pot kidney beans, fast, tender. They said no soaking, but I always soak my beans because I feel like it takes out some of the impurities ahead of time. In the Instant Pot, they say to pressure cook on high for 40 minutes. Let me just check one more recipe, because that seems like a long time and I wouldn't want the beans to fall apart on us. All right, so this photo has a photo of chili, so this should lead us to the right way. Yeah, so that says 20 to 25 minutes, which was what my assumption was on high pressure. So maybe the Instant Pot just doesn't have quite as much pressure as a traditional pressure cooker. Could be. Let's just write down that timing for ourselves. I'll probably go the 25 minutes because I think last time that I did 20 minutes on the kidney beans in the pressure cooker, the skins were a little bit tough still. And I don't want to be like simmering the chili forever on the stovetop. But definitely don't go the 40 minutes. I would be worried that you'd be like opening up the pressure cooker to bean juice. There would be no texture left. Oh man. Okay, that's that. And then we will get into cutting up our tri-tip. We got to get all of our flavorings for the chili. So our onion, for sure, some garlic. I also took out our little mirepoix soup base to put some of that in and use up. So onion, celery, carrot, and garlic is in there just with a little bit of oil. And then we always need some canned tomatoes to go in our chili. So we'll open those up. I do have some homemade chicken stock in the fridge to use up and put in as well, because he says to use like 1 empty tomato can worth of water. So we'll just put our stock instead. Have some extra flavor that way. Hi Boris, how's it going? And then for our spices for our chili, these are usually the same with all recipes. So always some chili powder for sure. Cumin, oregano, paprika will give you really nice red color if you want that. And then just some salt and pepper, really easy. And I will always throw a bay leaf into my chili as well as it's simmering. Kermit, hi, how did making the blanket go? So good, so good. I am maybe an hour more work away from it being fully done. I just have a couple things to finish up. Like we turned it all out yesterday to show the stream what it would look like when it was finished, but I still have to like trim up the edges and like obviously finish it when I turn it back out, hand sew the top, and then just do my finishing edge around. And that's pretty much it though. So it went really good. And that was a very long stream. I think we did about 5.5 hours yesterday sewing. I'm a little sore today and my knees are still red from crawling on the ground. Okay, how long does he say to simmer this for? Oh, we're also gonna use up some bell pepper, some sweet peppers. I thought that would go good since there's chipotle pepper as well. Cover and cook over medium-high until it reaches a boil. And then reduce and simmer for about 40 minutes, he says, stirring occasionally. And then in that time, the potatoes will also cook, right? We can prep them and get them in the oven. And then while we wait, we'll get the garnishes ready. That's it. We just have to, I think, shred cheese. I think we already have some green onions sliced up. But I love cheese and chili. The creaminess. And especially if you make it really spicy, the chili, having the cheese and the sour cream will cool it down a little bit. Do me or my friend have a lot of experience with sewing? My friend Julia is a fashion designer, so she has a lot of experience sewing. Yeah, right out of high school, she went into fashion design in Toronto for a few years, and ever since then, she's been working in the industry, kind of like how I did culinary and have been working in the industry as well. And yeah, I used to sew before when I was younger, before I started cooking, let's say. I almost went into fashion design as well, but changed courses, and I think I'm really happy that I did, because this was a much more fulfilling path, it sounds like. And yeah, it's nice to get back into it though. I really feel confident again, I would say, after all of that, to use the machine on my own and start some new projects. Do I like quilting? I've never quilted before. My aunt has a business that she makes quilts for on the side, just a small business. So if I wanted to get into it, I could, but I don't really think that's my style of sewing. I like to just make different stuff and have different projects compared to just like making a quilt for someone. Maybe when I'm older, I'll do that. Let us come to the cutting board and get started, guys. We are going to first drain our water out of our kidney beans. We never use this water that they soak in. And I would always recommend soaking your dried beans, because look at the color of the water even. And then you also see how they like split open the skin. So that will allow them to soften quicker and cook quicker. If we don't soak them, they would probably take close to 6 hours to cook, compared to if we do this in the pressure cooker, it's about 25, 30. I'm a project seamstress, totally. I could really see myself having fun with like, what do you say? Like when you fix other people's clothes? I guess a seamstress? Guess that's what we'll call it. I forget how much beans I even poured in here, guys. Maybe a cup and a half. And then looks like it expanded to like 4 cups worth, about a liter. Kind of crazy. And so we'll cover that with some water now. I usually go an inch or so above the line of whatever you're cooking. And you don't want to go above the stop line, obviously. And I will also put just a little pinch of salt in here as they cook. Am I gonna be one of the old ladies that knits? Probably. If I have time, right? I really think that I will be an old lady that doesn't have a lot of free time, because I want to like have a farm and stuff when I'm older. And that will be what keeps me busy in my life and gives me purpose. All right, let's turn this on to medium high and then bring that up to a boil. So that will take a few minutes. So we can get into the other chili stuff while we wait, and we'll come back once that's up. You'll use a sewing machine because you like your fingers unseamed. It's actually pretty difficult to like sew your finger. They have a lot of safety measures in place on the sewing machine that you shouldn't injure yourself. You'd have to try pretty hard or make a really bad mistake to have that happen. I'm just gonna grab a plastic cutting board to cut up the tri-tip on. I think we'll just put those meat chunks into a bowl. What do we got here in this bag? Maybe we will use it all. That was kind of deceiving. I thought there was more than there is. I feel. It smells so dang good. Kind of just smells like smoky, like bacon, right? So yummy. Let's start with these. And yeah, my hand's gonna get gross, so don't mind that, please. No, you were mending your jeans once and you sewed them to your boxers. Wait, how does that happen? Did you sew them while you were wearing them? Okay, so that's how it looks. It's kind of gray, right? Because the end is usually cooked more than everything else. And to eat this chili, I don't want it to be super difficult to eat. So maybe like 1/2 inch cubes of meat. They will shrink a little bit. I don't want them to fall apart too much either. But I don't want the chunk of meat to be too big where it's like hard to eat with the rest of the chili. So keep that in mind. Will it be spicy? It can be spicy if that's what you prefer. I like to keep my chili mild and then like I will garnish today with some pickled jalapenos if I want to spice up my life a bit more. But we are putting some chipotle pepper in as well as chili powder, so it will have a bit of spice, but not too much where it's not enjoyable to eat. Your face won't burn off. What's happening here with this chunk? There we go. Paloozer soda. Okay, so lesson learned, don't mend your pants while you're wearing them. And that too, that's also actually a good point, Pal, is sometimes when you put spice into food, especially if it sits overnight or like a couple days in the fridge, it will start to get spicier. This little gristle piece, I don't know, maybe I'll cut that out. Just so it's not too weird and chewy. Because, like, you don't want a chewy chili. Texture does matter. That ain't bad, though, if that's all we've cut out so far. So hot that your ancestors start sweating? No, don't do that. Unless you, like, really enjoy pain, I guess. There. Can you guys see the little smoke ring on this? The pink ring around the outside edge? That's where we're at so far. We can definitely use more. Get rid of those. Okay, now this big one. I think we're gonna use it all, guys. It's probably gonna happen. This is our other piece. Really nice. What do we think? I'll probably slice it from the tapered edge because it's more cooked over there. And that way, if I feel like we have too much, I got the nice kind of more rare pieces to use up. But look at how this one is cooked still. Like, it's still red inside. That's amazing. I just want to eat this right now, hey? Hello. Okay, that might be it. That might be where I stop because we're going to be using some brisket and then that's like yummy munchins for me. throughout the week. Whether I eat it cold or heat it up. But let me just wash my hand a sec. I mean, I am going out to the storage on Wednesday. Just bring the chunk of tri-tip and slice it on the slicer out there. For the sandwiches, it's important. That's what I was thinking, Bonk. Okay, that little chunk back in the fridge. Let's keep going. Nom. Samo was actually the one that had this idea to make chili with it. And I said, okay, you got it, sir. That's a great idea. And then we'll be bringing maybe a couple liters worth on the trip with us, because that's an easy reheat at the end of the day once you reach your destination. Yeah, I wouldn't argue either. Exactly. Still so juicy, hey? As I'm like chunking this up. This is gonna be amazing. Today was Benny Day up at work there for him, and he said that you went to have a Benny and noticed that the hollandaise was completely split. He's like, well, that's a no. Don't fix it or anything though, right? That's some sad stuff. How do you split a hollandaise that comes out of a box, chat? I didn't even know it was possible. Dust! We're blessed with your presence today? Dude, we were saying that. There's like a bunch of us. We love us some Cowboy Kent Rollins. Too bad I don't have a cowboy hat. Oh, and we also got like kind of sad today, Sam and myself, because you guys know that we were like trying to plan a trip to the States, especially like to try to go down to Texas for once in our life. And then we looked at the conversion of our currency right now, and it's like, whoa, everything will be paying like 40% more on if we go travel to the States right now. But that also means you guys should all come here. And then you save 40% on everything that you spend money on? What a joke. Okay, cut up tri-tip, check. Let's roll into our onion and garlic and peppers. And our beans are almost coming up as well. I got a bunch of stuff to use up here. What do we have? Yeah, you would need a passport to get into Canada. Anytime you leave your country of origin, you need a passport. And that is something that I'm also working on the side, because I have to change my name, my last name, since I got married, on the passport. And like I tried to, they now have like, you can book appointments. The soonest appointment was September 12th or something. I was like, well, that's a long time from now. Okay, let's cut up this onion chunk. And maybe we'll just put it back into the container. And then I also had these left over to use. I'm not gonna waste it. But I could probably get the passport quicker if I just went to the office. Just you could be waiting there for like 6 to 8 hours before someone helps you. If you don't have like somewhere that you're going right away, then you're low priority, right, to get helped. So we'll see. Yeah, you gotta plan traveling, especially if you want to leave your country months ahead, guys. Absolutely. I've never cut an onion like this. This is interesting. I think it's working pretty good. Could be worse, I suppose. Let's see what happens here. Hello, Marshall Jackson. What's happening? How's your Sunday? Passport takes up to 3 weeks tops. I'll probably just go when we come back from our trip. Take a day. Get all of my things that I need in order, because that's the hard part, right? Is you're kind of just hoping that you have everything right. And if you don't, then you have to leave and come back again. I'm just fixing this up because it didn't slice very nice. I'm being picky. Look at those long pieces. Who cuts onions like this? Not chefs. Let's just say that. I'm judging my own self. I just want the onions a bit smaller because we know Samo and his preference, right? Okay, that looks better. That's so true. I have always kind of like wondered about getting a Nexus because I used to travel a lot when I was younger, but these last like 10 years or so, it's been busy. But I know the Nexus will help you go places faster. I'm always so jealous seeing them all like skip the line. Or the quicker way to get through security when you travel, just like put something in your bag that shouldn't be there. Because then you just get brought off to the side and you get through actually quicker. And they'll just take it away from you and you're on your way. Pro tip right there. Not that I had stuff that they had to confiscate, but when I went to San Diego for TwitchCon, they were like checking out all my video equipment and stuff that I brought to stream. I got my own little like private security lady. It was pretty freaking cool. Me with the light hacks. Okay, onions good. I think we'll keep the garlic separate. And it's almost time to skim the beans, it looks. Why don't I take the nice potatoes out while I'm over here? You guys can take a peek at them. You're eating some Domino's for lunch? What kind of pizza did you get? Okay, let's go over actually. It's time. Let me grab a container. Excuse me. And a spoon. And then we're just gonna skim that scum. Like how you would skim a stock or a broth as well as it's coming up to a simmer. Those are also the impurities coming out of the bean. So you just go with a spoon and take that foamy bits off. And then we'll put the lid on since this is up to a boil. And then we just have to wait for it to pressurize itself before we set the cooking timer. It just keeps coming. We can give it a little stir too if you want. Look at that though. Skim the scum. You just cheat and use a food chopper, like for the onions you're saying? You could totally do that. Because those onions will cook down anyways, so you won't really see how they were cut. It doesn't matter too much. Any more? It's really building up, hey? Okay, that looks a lot better. I'm also gonna turn this down a bit before we put the lid on. So now I gotta turn that. That clicks is what we want. I'm gonna turn this back this way. And then we want high pressure. So right now it's not pressurized at all. It's vented. This is low if you see the veggie symbol, and then high is the meat. And then we're just gonna wait for that to start whistling. And then we can set our timer. Done and done. Let's come back over. How's work going, Dust? It's going really good. I had an extra day off this week. They had something come up on Wednesday. They weren't gonna be home. So I just told them to like freeze the stuff that I had prepped already, and I'll make it this upcoming week for them. But yeah, it's going really good. I'm really grateful that that opportunity presented itself to me. It helps me not go as stir crazy in the house for sure. And it's just like a nice challenge to always be like making them something different every week. And they also have like a cute kitty, so I'm always happy to go over there and visit. Because she likes cooking. Okay, let's smash our garlic. This one peeled itself somehow. And then I'm just gonna slice these really thin. I don't have a garlic press here right now. But if we slice it, like I said, this is gonna simmer for about 40 minutes. So that will cook down. You ordered pizza for the family at a large extravaganza. For your parents, medium extra cheese. For your brother, Philly cheesesteak sando for you. I didn't even know they make sandos there. What? And it's good, the Philly cheesesteak from Domino's? Yeah, we know that it's not authentic, right? You go into it knowing that, but for what it is, I guess, hey? 7 different kinds of baked sandwiches now. What's the bread that they use? That's what I'm interested in. That's some good fresh garlic. It's juicy. Let's get a container for that. That's what I was thinking, Pell. Maybe some pizza dough is what they use for it. It's just like a white kind of bun. I thought maybe they'd use something they already had. Like a flatbread or something. I don't know. We're curious. Can you guys hear the stomps upstairs? Non-stop since 9 a.m. Boom, boom, boom. Sometimes the non-authentic tastes better. I'm trying to think of like an example of that. Can you give one? Something that is non-authentic that actually tastes better than the original thing? Bonk. No. They still haven't. I don't think they ever will. I've come to terms with it. That's a good amount of garlic, guys. I'm happy with this. This is gonna taste amazing. Like a solid like 1/3 of a cup of garlic. Thank you. It's good for the soul, you know? Okay, rinse off the hands and the knife. It's all sticky. 40 clove chili. I haven't had a hankering. I almost made that the other week. The Alton Brown 40 garlic clove chimkin. Because usually that's like a once a year recipe, for sure. It's hard to keep up though, with all the things that we always want to make. Okay, next up we'll do our little bell peppers. Get rid of those. Do it for the clients. That's what I was thinking. I'll do it when I come back. Hopefully there's like chicken thighs on sale or something like that. Oof. Because, yeah, I cook with a lot of garlic for them, and they have never complained, and they, like, requested my roasted garlic meatballs again. So I think they really like garlic. Okay, we'll tip and top these, and then just chunk them up. We can use those little bottom bitties. Then we'll core them. They're so small. We just make a little pile on this side, away from where you're working. If you have space. I know not everyone's cutting board is massive like mine. Chopping and coring. Here we go. Non-authentic peanut butter tastes better. What is non-authentic peanut butter? Like one that you would make yourself? If that's what you mean, then yeah, I think I'm with you. Because I was kind of thinking that I've had a hankering for peanut butter, but I found that it's so expensive now to buy a jar that's like organic or natural. Might be better off just buying peanuts, making it myself. We're up! We're up, guys, and I think I usually set it between 3 and 4 for the temp. You want like a medium-low heat. And then we'll do, I'm gonna go in the middle of 20 and 25 minutes. Let's do 23. Boom. Those are going. That's how easy that is. I don't know why you wouldn't do that. You Googled it. It appears that Domino's uses ciabatta for their sandos. Oh, they're fancy then. They fancy like that. And a hoagie roll as well, pal. And hi, Mickey. How are you doing, dude? Did you have a good weekend? That's how fast the time goes, hey? That's how I live my life, so I feel you on that. Because Sam's always gone for 3 weeks and then home for 3 weeks. So I live my life in like 21-day increments. Not 1 month, like most other people. You're feeling a bit better? That's good. Rest is really important. The papas have been walked. I'm sure they're happy about that, hey? I'm gonna get a small little container for those. Yeah, Boston, so you're saying homemade peanut butter. Or you're... okay, so you're saying the non-natural. The non-natural version, like a Kraft or Skippy brand. Where it's all emulsified, the oil into the peanuts. Whereas natural peanut butter, the oil will typically separate and sit on top. Jif, that's another brand, yep. I just like straight up peanuts blended. Because they usually have enough oil already inside of them. You don't need to add more. You even went to the pub? You didn't even go to the pub for 3 weeks? Holy. You had a nice break from everything then. Peps. Complete. What's next? onion, garlic, sweet pepper. We are opening up our canned tomatoes. I think we'll use 2 because we have quite a bit of chili ingredients today. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is that gonna be too much? Is 2 gonna be too much? I don't know. It's hard to make this choice sometimes. I do have, okay, if I'm using up the tomato paste, I probably don't need, I have this little pile here. So tomato paste from the freezer, our chipotle and adobo, and I just had some like blended red pepper to use. So yeah, if we're gonna use the tomato paste, I don't think we need the second can. We'll bulk it out with just some of the stock instead. Domino's is your favorite place to order pizza compared to Little Caesars. Do you get the like hand-tossed crust? Because that's the only pizza that I would order from Domino's, but holy smokes, I can't even remember the last time I ordered that. It's been years, honestly, guys. Years. Swap one of the cans for a jar, of like some Mexican kind of sauce. Well, he did say Rotel. So is that like roasted kind of tomatoes? That was what my imagination was, like fire roasted tomatoes. Little Caesars is low-key the best pizza overall. I think you're right, Pell, for like how inexpensive it is. And it's usually pretty consistent quality. And quick, yeah, that's so true. You probably can't get a quicker pizza than Little Caesars. I mean, the fact that you can sometimes just walk in and it's ready to go, right? Take it out of the hot box. Okay, so these tomatoes are whole plum tomatoes. So when I add them to the pot, I'll probably chunk them up by hand. Either that, or you could blend them with like an immersion blender or just stick them in the blender, but I like it more chunky. So I'm just gonna do it by hand. Same thing you add to cheese to make a quick queso. Yum. Okay, our spices next. Maybe we'll switch to this view for now. Chili powder, cumin, oregano, paprika. Yes, Bonk. Yeah, we could always add more heat when you eat it. Whether you use fresh jalapeno, pickled jalapeno, a type of hot sauce, anything you really want. Greek, happy Sunday. How are you doing? You like some of Taco Bell's little sauces? Do they use like some different brands or make their own? I've never been there in a long, long time. That's why I ask. Let me go get these spices. Spice up our life. Oregano. Oh, we're gonna be using almost like all of this chili powder today. That's a good feeling, actually. She's getting old. Our cumin and paprika. And I don't need to use smoked paprika because the tri-tip's smoked. But if you wanted a smoky flavor, for sure, use smoked paprika to go with the chipotle. Good to go. Greek's chilling. Way, way too hot. Oh, really? Is it really hot there again? And humid, I'm sure. Oh, really, Marshall? You're like my husband. He eats so dang fast. But I can't. There is no fixing it or changing it. I've already come to terms with that. Every now and then, though, he will take his time. That's when you know. Green cantina sauce from Taco Bell. Oh, that's like, do you guys have Taco Time in the States? You guys have Taco Time? Because one of their hot sauces I always remember with their like Mexi fries, aka tater tots, was so good. One moment, please. I need to get control over this. I don't live underneath a zoo. And we're back. Okay, spices, check. And we are pretty much good to go. What's the banging? Me banging back. Me banging back, saying I don't accept this. We have 14 minutes on our beans, but honestly, I think we can start prepping our chili because it's going to take a little bit of time to saute all the veggies and stuff. You guys are done. Now, you would die even more if I showed you what I use to bang on the ceiling, but I literally can't. I would get banned on Twitch. So you can ask me on the side if you want. Okay. I guess we can start our chili in the pot on this side. We'll just move the camera over and that's fine as the beans finish. Let me turn this on to start heating, medium heat. Then I'll bring us over. We'll get a different view. Go full violence, a baseball bat? Well, you don't want to like put a hole in the drywall though, because that's always really difficult to fix. Like, yes, I'm capable, but do I want to? Probably not. Dude, I think we need to come up higher, hey? We can't even see inside of this pot. Now we can see. Why does it keep turning that way? What are you doing? It's got like a mind of its own. Back up, spices. You're in the way. That's as high as we can go. But I think that's actually really good. Better than where we started, at least. Okay, let us start. What do we want to fry first? Do we want to start with the brisket? The ground brisket? Get that fried up and then work into the onions and stuff? Probably, hey? Typically, you'll fry up your ground meat and then take it out of the pot and then fry your veggies and spices in the leftover fats. That's pro. A shotgun? Close. Close. I mean, we're in Canada, so you guys know that's not like a thing that's allowed to be out in the house. So it's not like a legitimate one. Okay, I'm gonna start chunking in our ground brisket just in handfuls. And then we'll give that a season too right away with some salt and pepper. Fried brisket. Meat for the fond and then the veggies to loosen it all up and soak up the flavors. That's how you roll. That is so much brisket, but we know that the ground meat always shrinks. So you never end up with what you started with. Hand washes from the raw meat. And I gotta get a spoon, and then we'll get some salt and pepper on there. Is this a crazy view? We still can't really see in. Do we gotta go, like, I gotta pop you guys up even higher. I'm not loving this angle. This will take a good amount of salt. Don't be scared. I'm gonna go get a container and see if I can go even more into the pot. Uno momento while this is starting up. Yeah, everything needs to be stored in a gun safe Greek. I learned that from Sam's dad. Nobody stays strapped here. Let's just put it that way. 2 for 1 roast beef at the pub? How can I get in on this deal? Yes. That's a view of views. There you go, guys. I'm gonna give this a little stir. Might also have to turn the pot up. It's not super browning up or doing anything yet, but that might take a little bit. That was quite a bit of beef. And it was also cold from the fridge, right? So we're working on getting that chill off. Interesting technique from Brian What's His Name on YouTube. Who's Brian What's His Name? Squash the ground beef onto a sheet pan, oven roast it first. I have made chili that way, like when we were cooking up at camp. I think we had like 6 or 8 full sheet pans full of beef in the oven. And yeah, you brown it up that way, and then you can drain off all of the like excess fat and stuff right off of the sheet pan into a container. And yeah, it's so much easier than trying to like stir it and brown it in a pot for probably an hour. Very good point, Von Buki. A locked case in the trunk even, Bonk? Holy smokes. Okay, we are gonna be flashing today, aren't we? It's just gonna be like that. He works for the government. That's cool, guys. What do we got on the beans? 6 minutes. Okay, while I'm waiting, slowly gonna organize all this stuff that we had set out. Just maybe closer to the order of what we're going to add it. So we got our onion, garlic, and peppers. Our chipotle pepper. That should spice up our life pretty nice. Some roasted pepper puree. Just cause I don't want it in the freezer anymore. Our tomato paste for good flavor. Maybe while I'm waiting, I will kind of chunk up these canned tomatoes, actually. And then that's done. Yeah, I would say, like, in Canada, the only people you'll typically meet with a gun is your hunters. That is it. Okay, so this is how I usually chunk up my whole tomatoes, is just take out the whole piece, kind of let the juices fall out of it back into the can. And then just pull it apart to whatever size pieces you want. But I always let the seeds and stuff out so it doesn't get too messy. If you get a tomato with skin and stuff on it, take the skin off, because that is just going to cook up really hard. It's not going to cook down softer. Throw it out. What are you guys saying back here? You put in some ghost pepper hot sauce, Michael? You sneaker. I'm gonna die. Okay, it looks like I gotta stir the meat in a second. Do you got any good ideas what to do with a rather big amount of basil? You could always make pesto. That's what Pell said, I see now. Or in the past, if I was like too lazy to make pesto, you can just dehydrate the leaves as a dried spice if you want. You can blend it with oil and make a basil oil. Nice, things are happening now. Looks like the liquid is starting to come out and we might get some browning action. I'm gonna add just a little bit of tallow into here from the fridge, just for some fat. This doesn't seem like a very fatty mix of ground beef because it was from the flat of the brisket. Dry basil is legit. It's so much better tasting when you dry it yourself compared to the store. I don't know why that is. Bruschetta bonk. That's such a good summertime snack. Yum. You're gonna try to make some oil. It's nice for garnishes. You can use it to dress veggies if you roast. You can use it in like salad dressings, the basil oil. You can just drizzle it on tomatoes with balsamic vinegar. So it is pretty useful. A good way to preserve the flavor of summer. Caprese salad, nom. Oh, I'm so jealous. That's one of my favorite things in the summer. If I have a garden, just eating tomatoes right off of the vine. Chunking up the beef a bit. There was some bigger chunks in there. And then I guess I'll just need a bowl to scoop all this into or pour it into. We might need more fat for the veggies. We'll see. That's your tomato experience? You grow so many you get sick of them? I've never had that happen. Thank goodness. Let's finish up these tomatoes over here. There's a lot of tomato skins in this can. Excuse me, San Marzano, what are you doing? Another one. Big old chunks of basil. I'm gonna leave that in there because those will just cook down in the chili. Okay, my timer's going off for the pressure cooker. Maybe I should stop. And we'll slowly release that. Turn off the burner. I'll even bring it off of the burner too to start cooling. Let's stir this. I'll let it go a bit longer, this ground meat, but if it doesn't brown at all, I guess that's it. I think it's still gonna be delicious. 15 varieties of tomato plants. I think the most I've grown is 4. Wait, there was an internet hiccup? What happened, guys? Did the stream actually cut out? Okay, now we're gonna release the pressure a little bit at a time just by turning the top dial. Okay, I see that I'm gonna have to plug in my camera. And hi, Black Fox, welcome. We're under pressure. And I will switch back to this other side, just because I like that camera view better. Once we got our beans out of here. Boom. You dare me to try to open it, the pressure cooker right now? So that's the thing that would probably happen as well, is there's so much pressure being pushed against the lid that even if you tried to just release it, it would be so difficult before it even exploded all over you. I just wanted to say that though. It would probably feel really difficult and you'd have to force it open anyways, just to hurt your own self. Whoops! You have a lychee tomato. What? You can eat it? You can eat it. Okay. I'm gonna pour out this beef, guys, into the bowl so that we can start our onions. Gotta do a bit of scraping. Back on. We'll put our onions right in because it's still hot, and then we'll add our fat that we need. First, a spoon of fat. That was some lean beef. Ooh, the pressure cooker sounds like a jet landing. There we go. Also gonna add a couple spoonfuls of our carrot and celery. 'Cause why not? A very seedy tomato. And hi, Oleana. How have you been? Okay, we can just use the same spoon from the beef. Get those fats melting. And then I'm gonna switch up this view for all of us. Now that the beans are depressurized and cooked. Sounded crazy outside just now. What the heck? Get to sweating. I'm just gonna bring you guys over here for a sec while I do a little shimmy. A shimmy and a shift. So this is on medium heat on the stove, guys. So if you were wondering. That's funny, Pell. I like when plants just self-propagate. It's like, okay, you want to be here? Go for it, right? All the power to ya. It's like, how can I get this angle? I guess this is the best we got to work with today with the pot that I had to use in the house. So I'm not gonna concern myself too much more with the view. That's the best we got. And then while we're here, I don't think I'm gonna add any more seasoning to the onions right now. While those are sweating and sauteing, we'll just let those start to brown eventually. And then from there we can add in the garlic and the bell pepper. And this is the part of making the chili that is actually really important. Building up these layers of flavor over time, rather than just throwing everything together in the pot and calling it a day. Sounds good, Shariah. I hope you have a good night. Get a silicone spatula, scrape the beef goodness back in. No, not yet. It's too early. It's too dang early. We got our ground beef. We got our tri-tip. This pot is gonna fill up. Next, why don't I finish just on the side here while this is going? I'll finish getting our tomatoes all crushed by hand, and then we'll strain the beans and see how those... Oh, off the side of the pot. Yeah, I should, hey, because it might like start to crisp up. Okay, let me finish the tomatoes and then I'll do that. We should though. I've had that happen though sometimes, Pell. Like you leave that stuff on the side and then just the residual heat will make it like burn or get really crispy. So it is actually a fair point. I just got tomato everywhere doing this. Pot nuggets. Okay, and then the last thing that we have to prep is just some potatoes to roast in the oven. This is starting to smell pretty good. See, it already tried sticking. Already. That's where we're at, guys. Little bit of fun. I'll try and get that off of the bottom from the beef. Nice. Freaking love enamel pots for this reason. Just comes right off. And you only really have to do this if you notice it getting too dark. Keep going. Streezy, he's in Poland. That's cool. Do I want anything from here for our roasted potatoes? I don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe we'll make up our own little spice mix. Oh no, it's running away. Did you guys hear it? Where did it go? Come back. It really went far. 70% vodka. Oh my gosh. In a shot glass that looks like a rocks glass? That's terrifying. Not gonna add the garlic yet. I want the onions to get a little bit more translucent. Don't want the garlic to burn. Where is my potato peeler? Wait. Where is the potato peeler? Oh, hiding. That's where it is. Hiding, guys. Look at this potato. Like shedding its skin. There's a couple like that. That's when you know it's a new potato. It's got like a little hat. You gotta put like a face on there. Okay, starting to get browning action now, so I'm gonna add the garlic and the peppers together. This doesn't look very appetizing yet. And let those cook. When we add the garlic, it usually doesn't take very long to brown. That's why we don't add it right away with the onion. Spread that back out. Get it all unstuck off of the spoon. So next from here is gonna be the tomato paste, and then we can add our spices and other flavorings and pretty much everything else to the pot that we want. It is totally a labor of love. Lots of stirring. Lots and lots of stirring. And then like the whole time you're making it, the smell is changing. It's enjoyable. I'm gonna get a strainer for the beans. The smell of the peppers is really good, actually. really good smelling. And yeah, one tip, like tomato paste, a lot of people don't know this, but you always want to fry it kind of with your veggies and stuff for a few minutes. The color will start to change and it will color the oil orange, and that's when you know that you can then start the next step. Bye, Dust. Have a good day at work. Don't work too hard. And maybe I'll see you next week. Open up all of our spice containers and get those ready. So we go tomato paste and then the spices and then the liquids. Building up some more fond. And you don't want to let that fond get too dark before you add the tomato paste. So there's lots of sugar in tomato paste as well. Okay, we're ready for it. One thing I have done before though, let's say if you go to add the tomato paste and you notice the fond is a little bit dark already, you can just add a bit of water at that point and then let it evaporate and loosen everything up off the bottom and then cook your tomato paste after. And then you really want to stir the paste all together. Almost gets like saucy. And then we always spread it back out. Let it kind of cook a layer on the bottom and then we'll stir it again pretty quickly. That's how it looks right now though. It's really helping loosen it off. Turn the pot. Okay, now I'm gonna let that cook and we're gonna start adding all of our spices. This is a lot of chili powder. Like he says 1/3 of a cup of chili powder and then just a couple teaspoons of other stuff. And you could always add more. Let's just measure in our hand. Let's go like that to start, sure. That seemed like a pretty good amount. I'm just gonna do most of this cumin. It'll be about a teaspoon. A little bit of oregano. Like, what are they doing upstairs? Do I need to do it again, chat? And then I'll do like a bunch of paprika. Maybe not all of that spoonful. Okay, stir that. Yeah, we got our tomato layer cooked on. I always stir the spices in and then it gets really dark from the chili powder. So then the first thing I'll typically add now is like our water or broth, just to cool that pot off. About 750 ml of chicken stock. Is a cowboy chili. We're cooking like a cowboy. Now we'll let that heat up. Give that a stir all up the sides, and then you shouldn't really feel anything stuck on the bottom layer of the pot. Okay, I think that all feels good. One more stir to get that spoon cleaned. Okay, now I'm just gonna add some red pepper puree to use it up. This is not in the recipe. This is in the recipe though. Some chipotle chilies in adobo. Definitely use those. What do I have? 1, 2, like 3.5. That should spice up our life pretty dang good. Chipotles are pretty deceiving as far as spice goes. Yeah, he used some cumin. I put about a teaspoon in, Bonk. I saw that he only put about half teaspoon. I put double. What the heck? Welcome to the racetrack on Sunday. Screech those tires. Now we'll rinse out the tomato can with just a small amount of water too. Cumin you have to have, right? Cumin and chili powder. You need it. And then this is the rest of our chunked tomato. Maybe I'll do a little rinse-a-roo on that. How does that look now? Yum. Now that's the color that we recognize. Okay, so he puts in the beans and like everything, and the meat and everything simmered together. I think I want to do like the tri-tip, maybe just to keep it from getting dry, right? Maybe a little bit closer to when it's done. Like maybe put it in halfway. So instead of putting it at the 40-minute mark of simmering, put it in at the like 20-minute mark. I think that will be the best. So 20 minutes before we're finished with that, we'll put the tri-tip in. But I think for like the ground meat and the beans, that will be nice to simmer that stuff together in the sauce, because both of those things need to absorb flavors now. Both of them are unflavored, right? Okay. Yeah, you guys can see what I'm doing over here, the bean pot, right? So now this is all depressurized, no steam coming out, and then the silicone is also released from the handle, so we know that we're safe. It's not necessary to cumin the chili. I get it. I love it, Pell. And actually, let's pop over here because I have the strainer with a bowl, and then we'll just pour it out and see what we're working with. And then, yeah, the potatoes are here ready. I laid them all out to get it ready for roasting in the oven. Who called them? Who did it? Okay, the kidney beans are like all kind of popped open. That usually tells me that they're cooked really nicely. Ah, there's some stuck. Yeah, they're all nice and soft. Cool. I almost overflowed the bowl. Look at how much liquid's in there. I'm gonna rinse this or soak this pot with some soap so that starch doesn't all get stuck and dried on. And then all we're gonna do, I don't know, I guess you could try to save the bean water, but it might turn your chili a weird color. Just gonna hold this over here and then you can see the color of the water, but usually I just get rid of that. Michael called the cops. And yes, this is really hot. So let me carefully dispose of this. Please no hot bean water in the house, thank you. Right, that's the thing that I find with the canned kidney beans. Sometimes the like skin is so dang firm still, whereas now it's just like melts apart in your mouth. Because you can see how these have like really broken down. Are they really gonna fall apart if I put them in too early? I'm gonna wait for that sauce to come up to a simmer before I put the beans and the meat in. Let's do that. Let us do that just so it doesn't get too mushy. But I'm with you on that, Pell. Having a bit of different textures with the beans is quite nice. You would add the beans last too. So add them in the last 20 minutes then with the tri-tip bonk. That's probably a good choice. That way they hold their texture. And it actually looks like this is simmering over here. So why don't we mix the ground meat in? And then we'll set our timer. Let that soak up all the goodness. Whoa. That thickened it up real nice. I think we might add a little bit more liquid, guys. Hi, Old Style. How's it going? I have some more stock. Some beer. Beer is one thing I don't really touch anymore as far as like gluten goes, bonk. Because I found that that's the one that just like destroys me. So I'm just like not on the beer train anymore, unfortunately. You know, it's a sad thing. I'm just scooping off the fat from my stock before I pour it. But yes, oh, that would be so dang good. Like beer and chili, money. If nobody's done that before. But I'll do it like this, because look at how gelatinous that is. That'll add some nice depth of flavor for us. Don't get me wrong though, stout chili. I'm pretty sure I've made that a time or two at the brewery. Way back when. All right, so now we'll let that come back up to a simmer. Let it go for 15-20 minutes. And then we'll add the rest of the stuff, another 20, and we're done. Okay, I'm gonna turn on the oven while we prep the potatoes so it can heat up while we're working. We're going pretty high heat because I like my potatoes to get brown. So let's go 420 to 425 Fahrenheit. That should be good. And then you can see these potatoes. So these are new potatoes. So if we look at the skin, you can see that basically it just peels off. And so new potatoes are just the first potatoes harvested of the season. So these are harvested while the plants are still green, whereas your typical potato, the plant will die off, and that's when you know to harvest it. But this, really thin skin, amazing for roasting, and way less starchy, a little bit more sweet and like vegetal. So if you've never tried them, definitely give them a try, and then we'll just take off some of the boo-boos. So then they're quite like delicate, right? You can see if they get like too cold or anything like that, they'll get like a bruise because there's no thick skin that builds up when they stay in the dirt longer to protect them. So you also have to use them up relatively quickly. They're not a potato that's going to be stored for a long period of time. 420 taters. The best kind. And then I think we'll just like cut these into little wedges, quarter them up or something. Dress them with some oil, salt and pepper, some spices to kind of like match the chili flavor. It'll be nummy. I think my favorite type of new potato is called German butter potato. If you guys ever see those in your area, definitely give them a try. Whoa, look at that one. But you can see how it's just the outside of the potato that gets the imperfection and the inside is really nice. We gotta turn the potatoes. Please don't make me do that. I don't turn potatoes without getting like compensation for it. Okay, let me peek at the chili pot. Just coming up again, so I'll set another timer. "20 minutes. We're gonna cut these up and then put them in a bowl to dress. I think we have enough bowls. Whoa. This one is overkill, but that's fine. All of my other small bowls are at my client's house. Okay, is this the biggest potato in the pile, I think? So we'll leave that for last and then we'll quarter the rest and then match it up to the right size. So that's all we're gonna do. You're giving me Misha's feta to turn the potatoes? Michael, you're really risking it this weekend, dude. You're pushing those limits. You're not living in fear. Oops. Are those potato skins gonna crisp up? I'm trying to like think about what's gonna happen to them in the oven. They're gonna melt? Oh no. What's everyone else getting up to today? We're just all having a nice chill day. I feel like this week was busy for a lot of us. Done. That one got cut into 6 instead of 4. Okay, look at those. They're new and improved potatoes. Yes. Yes. Get some olive oil. What other flavorings do we want? I like usually like granulated garlic on potatoes is yummy. What do I got in the bin here? Maybe a touch of coriander. And maybe actually some smoked paprika would be nummy on there. Coriander, garlic, paprika on the roasted potato? I think so. And don't forget the olive oil. Do some oil first. Just enough to coat them. Bring our seasonings. Let's do some salt and pepper. Potatoes usually can take like quite a bit of salt to get them properly seasoned, so don't be scared. I've more frequently had a bland potato than a too salty potato in my life. I don't know about you guys. And then we'll just do a little bit of each of these. Some granulated garlic sprinkled. I'll just usually sprinkle like a layer over the top. And that seems to be a good amount to mix in with everything else. A little bit of coriander. They're salt suckers, yeah, just like mushrooms, eggplant. What else? Most root veggies we can say. If I want a big thing of paprika, maybe we'll do the little sifting side instead. Taparoo. Get some more smoky flavor into this meal. That way the potatoes will be really yummy to eat with the chili, was what I was thinking. And now we just have to prep a sheet pan. Do that before I get my hands dirty. It's starting to smell like chili in here, guys. Crazy. It's the chili house. Was that a scary sound? I didn't warn you. We'll do some parchment. Let's give those a toss. It's probably gonna smell so good when it starts roasting in the oven. Nice. I usually just do it until it feels all coated. Let's do this. Bring this up. And we'll pour it out. And then if I show you that, sometimes there's just like a little bit of oil left in the bowl with spices. I'll try to like brush it out. Put it back on the rest of the potatoes. Like that much. Better than nothing though. Now we'll spread them out into one nice even layer. And then these, they're not too big, so I don't think these will take very long to roast up at 425 Fahrenheit. 20 minutes or so. About the same amount of time it's gonna take probably for the chili to finish with the other meats. I thought that was a perfect meal, honestly. And then yeah, the more we spread it out, kind of the more crisping that you'll get happening, if that's what you want. I'm gonna wash my hands. It's already looking tasty? I think so. It's smelling so good in here already. Okay, so those aren't going in until the oven is ready. Couple more moments. Let's come over here. Look at that. Let's give this a stir. Because usually I find that the ground beef likes to like sink to the bottom of the pot when you're simmering it in a sort of sauce. But it doesn't stick or burn, so that's nice. And we have about 10 minutes left for this stuff to cook with the ground beef before we add the beans and the tri-tip that's back here. And then usually when I make chili, once we have most of the spices added, the only one I'll hang on to in case we need more is just the chili powder. It's usually the only one I'll maybe finish with if it's lacking a bit of flavor. Everything else we can put back though. Good old Cisco, yep. They're so good for spice containers. It's really handy. I am happy that that chili powder's almost all gone finally. Finally. Cisco and GFS, yep. I always laugh. Because the thing like on the side of their truck is like fresh pre-cut vegetables. In my mind, nothing's ever fresh if it's pre-cut. Need to back up a bit, maybe. Okay, done with the olive oil while we're here. Didn't make too many dishes making this meal today. And then the only other thing we'll need is some grated cheese. So why don't I bring a container back for that while I'm here, get that done. But first, I'm gonna take a bathroom break. I'll be back in a moment. Don't go anywhere. Am I back now? Okay, I'm back now. What are the chances that I go to the bathroom and, okay, so these two batteries, once again, I think these are slowly phasing themselves out. Because these were at 3 bars again this morning when I checked my mic pack. And then what? We've only been live for not even 2 hours. And they're already dead. So I'm going to put those ones on this side as well. They're done. They're done for. And that happens. Like rechargeable batteries, we've had these almost since we started streaming. So think about how many years that is. They will slowly just start to lose their like recharge rate. Like they'll hold, like they'll charge up, but then they just won't last as long. It'll be like, surprise. So then when that starts to happen, yeah, you just start to phase them out and you get new ones. That's it. The batteries for the gauges in the bathroom? Wait, what? They have a duty cycle. That was so, like, what a weird coincidence, though, for me to come back off of mute and then it's dead. How funny. Okay, I'm getting some water. It's getting so muggy here. We got some storms building up. She's getting spicy. Yeah, what kind of gadgets are in the bathroom that we use reusable batteries for? Maybe hair tools? Okay, I don't think the oven beeped yet. I can't recall now because I got distracted, but I don't think it's quite ready. And then we have 4 minutes until we add our meats. And simmer this more, but this is starting to like come together and get really nice and saucy. If I say emulsify, I think that's how it's going. Yeah, maybe it was already off before the break, Greek. Who knows? I'm gonna get the box grater for our cheeses while this is finishing. Is your bowl ready, Titan? Have you been working hard today? You need some chili in your life? We're doing the fancy marble. And then I'll probably do some extra so that I can use this grated cheese to make a shaved tri-tip sandwich or a wrap. I got wraps in the freezer. Shaved tri-tip wrap. I think that's what's gonna happen because I have some lettuce to use up. Yep. Yep. Canadian cheese. Yeah, this is like the Canadian version of what Bonk has taught me over the years. Is called Colby Jack. Let's just cut a chunk off. But I wouldn't say it's like a mix of cheddar and mozza with the white. It's like an orange cheddar and white cheddar, but still like way more creamy than how sometimes aged white cheddar can be funky and salty. This is just a really good like multi-purpose cheese and a really good snack and cheese with like cheese and crackers. One of my faves. Finished mowing the lawn before, wait, what? The hurricane makes its way through? You live somewhere where there's a hurricane? I didn't think that. That's crazy, dude. Hurricanes are everywhere? Now we know. It's gonna hit Florida and then go north. Wild. Please stay safe. I always worry about you guys. Other than the east coast of Canada, we don't really get hurricanes. Like, yeah, I live somewhere where we get tornadoes sometimes, but not often enough for us to be used to it. Insane. Number 2 on the list. Hopefully it's not as crazy as they think it will be. Let's just go with that. Yeah, there is nothing casual about it, Greek. But at the same time, like, the people that live in Florida, they know what they're getting themselves into. You have to if you choose to live there. Something a little bit crazy about those people, and I love it. Okay, that's our 20 minutes on the beef cooking in the chili pot. Let's go back over. Give it one more stir, and I think I'm gonna pop those potatoes in the oven now before we add in and finish our chili. Potatoes going into roast. Oh, look, there's a seasoned cast iron in the oven. How handy. The grill pan that we used on Friday's stream. Washed and seasoned. Good to go. Gangster from L9. Thanks for the follow. Okay, first, look at this. Look at this good, chunky tri-tip for our cowboy chili. Done. Stir that in. I'm gonna let that come up to a simmer before we add the beans, because the beans are already cooked and warm. So they don't need much more cooking on that end. And then we'll also set a 20-minute timer. It's looking hearty, hey? We're getting there. I'm really liking how this is coming together. Really, really liking it. And yeah, the heat right now on the stove is like medium low. Not a very high temp to even have this simmering. Imagine a brisket chili. Well, we're making a style of brisket chili today. A ground version, not a chunky one. That is what we use. Yeah, we use smoked tri-tip and then some ground brisket. Okay, let's finish this off. I'm like salivating now, I can't help it. And then we just need our other garnishes. We already have some green onion sliced and the sour cream. Would you use, though, smoked prime rib in a chili? That's a pretty expensive cut of beef. I guess if you can afford it, all the power to ya. Leftovers are leftovers. Okay, let's say, yeah, if you had it left over, sure. But I probably wouldn't smoke a prime rib just to turn it into chili, right? Let's wash off that box grater before it all dries on. Good point, guys. I love when we have these chats like this. That was a healthy amount of cheese grated. Oh, and we'll take out our pickled jalapenos. I almost forgot about those, and that's like one of my favorite things. Because they're like a little bit spicy, they're crunchy and juicy, and then also like briny and vinegary, so it goes so good with the chili. That's a good one too, pal. Yeah, just be like, okay, half of this is gonna be made into chili and the other half will just eat normally to appreciate the prime rib in all of its glory. So these are pickled jalapenos that we made once upon a time on stream. If you guys remember, our sour cream, that is actually a garlic Asiago cream. I'm not mad about it though. Just wanted to let you guys know if you're like, huh, looks kind of chunky, Kate. It's supposed to be. And then green onions. So we just need a pair of tweezers for the jalapenos and that's it. Everything else is good. Is that looking like it's simmering? Hey, we can put the beans in. Used to hit up a local prime rib buffet pretty regularly when you were there. All you can eat for $8. Imagine. All you can eat prime rib buffet for $8. What even is life anymore, pal? Okay. Whoa, that was such a cool sound. I love it. Beans. Good. Stack those bowls up. Stir that in. So that's why we always start chili with a really big pot. Because by the time everything is in the pot, it's gonna be almost full. Or at least over half. Yes, please. I'm just gonna have a little initial taste here to see what we're working with and where we're going. Life is lost on you. Me too, dude. Okay, that's got a really good base flavor. Little bit of heat on the tip of your tongue from the chipotles, but nothing crazy at all. Nice smoky flavor though, for sure. Definitely will need some salt. I don't know if I'll put any more pepper because we already have that spicy sort of flavor. Let's add a touch of salt though. Stir that in while it's finishing. Fat to acid ratio good. I'm gonna see how it tastes after the salt, and then I was thinking maybe like a squeeze of lemon juice, or if you have lime. Let's see what I have. Or you could do like a bit of vinegar, right? Or if you have a vinegary hot sauce, you could use that. I might just do a little piece of lemon to brighten up the flavor of the sauce. Because that way, like the lemon flavor I find when you use it at the end is really nice and light, right? It's not got that like white vinegar sort of punch. Really high acid content. The other flavors of the lemon will just melt away into the veggies. I just did not even half of a lemon, just like a little piece off of the end. Yeah, maybe we'll even brighten up the flavor of the beans. Good one. Okay, what else? Need a spoon for the sour cream. Why don't we pick our bowl that we're gonna put our chili in? We gotta pick the chili bowl. A little or a lotta? Probably just this wok one. Will look really good usually when I plate it in there. Nice contrasting colors with all the garnishes. I'm gonna organize my sink a little bit so that I can make a video station for when we plate. Frothing Monkeys 1. Thanks for the follow. Welcome. Welcome. Chili is almost complete, and that's a great feeling. Work words? What are you guys going on about? Guess what vehicle that was? You probably won't be able to. I was kind of shocked. Guess what model of vehicle that was? It definitely had a supercharger though, I would say. Which makes sense for what it was. I like playing this game. A Tesla, yeah. They put the fake exhaust thing onto it. That's what I was assuming it would be, Greek, but it was actually a Mustang. I don't know what they did to it to sound like that, but I thought that was kind of funny. I'm gonna have one more taste as this is coming up since we added the salt. Because we might add a bit more chili powder. Let's see. That salt really brought out more of the flavors. Really, really good. Maybe a Shelby. It looks like just a base model. It didn't look like it had any of the Shelby stuff on it, but maybe they're flying under the radar with it. A Mustang with a Hellcat. I peeked at the potatoes. We still got 9 minutes on this, so no rush at all. What else can we say? Another thing that sometimes I like to eat with chili is tortilla chips. If you have any of those on this side, always a good option. And oh, I guess I'll need like, what, just a little plate to put the potatoes on when they're done? Or you can just eat the potato inside the chili. That's another option too. Cornbreads? Yeah, that's always an option. I just didn't really feel like making cornbread. I wasn't in the cornbread mood, which is weird because usually I am. I did actually, yeah, make a chili con carne. Tortillas would be good. That's pretty nice, Pell. I definitely appreciate the older ones. They just sound and look so much better than the new versions that are quite boring in my mind. Holy, I can't believe this is the last stream of the weekend already. I already sent my clients their menu for next week. Get that done. Your aunt owned it briefly, but it scared her, so she just like gave it back. I could see that. I'm making like one of my favorite pastas this week for my clients. I have 2 liters of beef bolognese sauce that I made before and just froze. So I'm gonna take those out of the freezer and then stuff like big pasta shells with that and then bake it with cheese on top for them and then just a side salad. Such an easy pasta dish. It was her daily driver. Yeah, Pal's like, I was just a kid, guys. I don't know. That's hilarious. Imagine getting stuck with it. Oh no, I'm stuck with this. What am I gonna do? It's almost coming back up to a simmer. I'm intrigued to see like the texture of the tri-tip getting cooked again this way. I hope that it doesn't get too chewy. We shall see though. I'm seeing what else is happening on Twitch. What else we got? Wait! Did they have Kent Rollins literally playing on the Hungry channel for food and drink? That's hilarious. Now that is hilarious. You would have chunked the beef smaller. I did kind of go big. I thought I went small enough, but yeah, we'll see how it eats. I think it'll be a-okay. There's no one really streaming in food and drink. Might just drop you guys off with Steve again. That's always a fun Sunday to finish up with. Okay, I'm gonna squeeze the lemon in while we're waiting. Now let's see how the lemon changes the flavor as well. We do like Steve, don't we? He's good people, and that's what we're about. And I would know this because I've even met him in person. Did you meet him as well, Bonk, when you were there that year? Bop. One more try. Giveth a spoon. You didn't meet Steve. Dang. That's unfortunate. Okay, I got a bean and some meats. Open up. I think he was too new. Really? Yeah, Dave's not here, man. Maybe just too new to you, Bonk. I forget when he started streaming, though. I think it was around the same time as me. That does not need anything else. We will just let that simmer. And that is awesome. Where's my paring knife? We'll poke a potato in 2 minutes to check how they're doing. Moiji55, welcome. Thanks for that follow. Nice to meet you. Yep, you guys are getting dropped off at Steve. It's been decided. Okay, grab our hot cloth. Let's check on these taters. They're sizzling. Almost tender. They're about 60% cooked, maybe a bit more. So we might actually just start with the chili and munch while we're waiting for those to finish up. That is also an option that you can use. And I think we're gonna do that. What do you think, guys? I'm thinking that that sounds great. Okay, let me set up my other cam. Guys, the stove cam is getting taken away, okay? It is no more. Michael's twiddling his fingers. Patience, young grasshopper. It's a carrot potato. How are you doing? I loved your update in Discord the other day. It made me really happy. So thank you for sharing that with us. Okay, that looks good on my side as well. Just don't whittle the fingers, only twiddling. Do we want to just bring over this huge pot and ladle out of it? I think so. Get the ladle. How am I? I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. I'm getting excited because we're going on a really fun holiday soon when Sam's back from work. Getting excited to go do that. Whoa, guys. That's all I can say on this one. That's how that looks. Steaming hot pot of goodness. Let's see how it looks into the bowl. Just in time for chili and potatoes. Steamy goodness by the looks of it. Leave that basil leaf in the pot. Oh, I just remembered that I forgot to put a bay leaf in while we were simmering. Not the end of the world, but is it really homemade if you didn't use a bay leaf? Okay, that looks awesome. Hey, guys. Didn't even put like a dent in the pot. Oops. Yeah, somehow chili in this black bowl always looks fantastic. All right, next one that we are gonna put on, I think we'll do a dollop of the sour cream. Cowboy Kent Rollins. Do you know of him, Wilson? And welcome. Also, my sour cream is seasoned if you're wondering why the heck it looks like that. Maybe you can't see, but I know. Next one, I think we'll do the cheese so it can kind of melt on. Yeah, you can. See the smoke ring on the tri-tip. Nice, pal. You watch his channel, Wilson? I think he's actually playing on the Hungry channel. That's on Twitch right now. When I was looking who we're gonna go raid while we're waiting. I think that's what I saw, which is so funny. This was such an easy chili to make though. Definitely like made in the style that I would make my chili. I like that. Close that up. Next we'll do our little bit of green onion, and then lastly, some pickled jalapeno to bring it all together. Jalapenos. Exactly. And we just use a tweezer to place those so we don't cross-contaminate. We'll do 5. He makes amazing food for 40 to 50 cowboys who spend a week or 2 herding cattle. And he has a horse-drawn wagon even? Okay, I need to check him out. Are you saying you watch this on YouTube? Is that what he says, pal? One of his little sayings. Okay, let me take a photo. And we're there on the chili. That looks good. Couple moments on the potatoes for the timer, but let's dig in. Excuse me. I got like a couple of burpees today. Okay, I'm gonna dig for a piece of tri-tip. The sauce is a little bit loose, but I feel like once we let this cool overnight, it's gonna kind of thicken and everything else is gonna get soaked up by the beans and the meat. I'm not too worried about the texture or consistency. Guys, the tri-tip is really tender still. I thought it would maybe go like dry or chewy on us because it was cooked twice, right? And it's got that like perfect smoky flavor, not overly smoky where it's kind of too much, just overpowers all the other flavors. That is good. Can I email you a bowl? For sure. Okay, that piece of tri-tip was a bit more chewy, but not so bad to the point where it's like, oh, what is this? It's still really good. Do we even notice the ground brisket? Not overly, but it definitely helps to give it a nice texture. Something a little different. Nice, Wilson. Okay, I'm gonna have that little jalapeno next bite. Another piece of brisket, or sorry, of tri-tip there underneath. Let's dig into that bite. It's really good. I really like the flavor of the chili itself, all the spices and stuff we used. I don't know if you can tell, but my top lip is getting sweaty. It's spicing me up a bit because we did 3 whole chipotle peppers, as well as the chili powder, and then as well as the pickled jalapeno garnish. We triple-dippled it up. The crunch from the jalapeno. The beans just melt apart in your mouth. Yeah, that's gonna be a deadly road trip snack. What is this? What the heck is that? Is what I'm wondering. From the beans, maybe? Okay, let me peek at the taters. Give them a poke. They're right on the top rack, so I don't want them to brown too quick. Oh, yeah. Guys, are we close? They're not super brown, so I might leave them a bit more, but they are definitely tender. Like, it's just starting to get browned on that side. Sizzling. Couple more moments. Have a few more bites while we wait. But that's awesome. Like, we didn't have to add any extra spices to the chili at the end when we finished it. So a lot of times the other recipes, I always feel like there's not enough chili powder or other flavorings. So you're always like at the end, like putting so much more, and then it doesn't really have the same flavor when you add it then and don't cook it together. Whew. We're moist. What's going on, Rock Oak guy? Yum. I wonder if when we let this sit overnight, if the tri-tip will like get tender again once it cools off. I'm intrigued. And yeah, here's the recipe, guys, if you want to try to make that for yourself. Just gonna have a sip of water. I think those potatoes are gonna be unreal in the chili itself. I'll put them in or on a plate just for this, but I'm totally gonna dunk right in there. Because I don't know about where you guys live, but around here, like a lot of places will do fries with chili and cheese on top, like chili cheese fries. That was kind of my thought around doing the roasted potatoes with the chili. That's what it was. I'm gonna stop there. Grab a little pair of tongs. Ah! I did not want that hot potato to fall on my foot, and I dodged it successfully. Okay, maybe I just had to give them a little toss-up because where they were on the pan, on the underside, they're all crisped. That looks way better. Nice. The sacrificial hot potato, but it didn't get me. This is what I'm gonna do. Scoop it onto the spoon so it can start to cool off so we can try it. And we dress these potatoes with olive oil, salt and pepper, coriander, smoked paprika, and garlic. So that's how they got that nice color from the smoked paprika. And then we'll see if the smoked paprika also made it taste smoky to like bring in the flavor of the chili. If y'all like cooking with cast iron, go watch Kent Rollins on YouTube. I'm for sure, like, I don't think I was subscribed to his channel. So I will do that today. Because I think I would so enjoy watching his stuff over there too. Like, I follow him on Instagram. That's how I once upon a time discovered him. The cheese is so stringy. Please. Control yourself. Potato with chili? Because when we bite in the potato, it's going to be really steamy and you don't want to burn your mouth. Such a simple meal. Like, I'm trying to clear out the fridge and freezer right now, Wilson, because we're going on a pretty long road trip in August. Or, yeah, in August. This is the month of August. Hello, Kate. Next week. Mmm. It's like crispy on the outside, and then the inside is almost like mashed potato texture. That's good. It's almost like if we boiled it and then fried it. And then because it's a new potato, it also has this sweetness. That is super good. You're going on the 12th, and we're going, I think on the 10th, we're leaving. Where are you going? Okay, I'm moving this stuff over. We're finishing up the stream. Let's just do that. Okay, while I was still streaming earlier, I said we'll go raid Chef Steve. Drop all you guys off there, because we like hanging out with him. I'm the bomb. Thank you. Canoe a few springs down in Florida. How beautiful. I hope that is a wonderful time, Wilson. Straight up. Guys, streams of the weekend are already complete. This is our quick and easy Sunday. 3 hours or less. We're at 2.5 hours and we're done. Complete. Crystal River. So they weren't lying when they named it that. Crystal River is clear water. So, so nice. Okay. Chef Steve, 3:30. So I'll be back next Friday, guys. I don't know if we'll start at our regular time. I'm assuming so, just because we're all used to that, 11 a.m. Pacific. And Samo will be around next Friday with me on stream. We are going to be like packing up, I think just hanging out at home, maybe going through our map and plan of our trip with you guys, because we're going to try to stream a lot of it. And that will be Friday, and then yeah, Saturday we're on the road, so stay tuned for that. Thanks, Rocco Guy. I'm excited to eat this. I don't even think they need ketchup. Dip in the chili, good to go. Thank you very much, Michael. Only got one screenshot from Friday's stream as well as today's, but it is what it is. It's all good, dude. You don't get paid to do that. Please don't worry, but we know that everyone does appreciate it when you put the photo. Because not everyone makes it to stream, right? Alright, we got the raid set up. We're gonna go see Steve. Is this like our usual Sunday thing, I feel now? How fun. Is he in the food truck today as well? Kind of like always, but he's prepping, so looks like he's prepping pasta, which is one of my favorite things to make from scratch too. Where is Kent streaming? I think he was on the Hungry channel. Or is that somebody else? Okay, thanks for all the new follows today, friends. I hope that you come back next week when we're live again. Michael, thank you for the resub today as well. And guys, thanks for just hanging out with us this weekend. It was fun. Did a bit of cooking on Friday. If you guys weren't around yesterday, I did a really long sewing stream and made Sam a massive blanket to take up to work. So definitely check that out. I was hanging with my best friend Julia. And I think that's it. Take care out there, be safe, make sure you're in our Discord so we can all hang out outside a stream, and stay tuned for the next schedule and recipes coming up. And we will be cooking on the road too, so get excited for that because we bought a bunch of things to pack and take. Love y'all. I'm gonna press this button. Let's go see Steve. Bye!